This is a tutorial for getting started with Nearpod and creating a presentation. So the first thing that you need to do is log in with your Google account. Once you log in, it should pop up, if it's the very first time, then it should pop up with a message that says you are part of the D22A trial. Okay, you definitely want that message. If you don't, and it doesn't say district user over here on the left-hand side, then please let me know and I will make sure that that gets fixed for you. Once you're in Nearpod, it's going to default to your library. Yours will probably be blank if you haven't used it before, but you will have this first box here that says create your own. You can create lessons in Google Slides. If you've used Pear Deck, it's similar to that experience, like the add-on. Or you can just do your lessons right in Nearpod. I usually create them right in Nearpod because it is a little bit more streamlined, but if you plan on collaborating with another teacher, if you'd like to share your presentation and work on it at the same time together, then Google Slides is your best option for sharing and editing at the same time. If you're just creating something for your class, even if you can plan on sharing it later with another teacher, that's absolutely fine. You can do that right in Nearpod, and like I said, that's what I'm going to focus on today. So I create my new lesson, and the only option that I have here right off the bat is to add a slide. Okay, so that's definitely what I'm going to do. You've got three different options for types of slide. Add content. Obviously, that's going to be how you're going to get your material across, right? Share your information, whether it's videos or a whole different array of options for you. Add web content. That will embed a website right into your Nearpod. So it's not just like a link that'll kick them then out to, like the internet. It is right in the presentation, which is a really nice feature. Or you can add an activity that's going to be like kind of your check for understanding along the way, as well as any, quiz type questions or formative assessments that you may want to include. So first of all, add content. Like I said, you've got lots of different options for this one as well. So a slide is just going to be your traditional, you can put text, you can do different boxes of text on a slide, you can put pictures on the slides, videos, right? Anything you can pretty much do in Google Slides, you can do in Nearpod on a pretty basic slide there. Vocabulary is a really cool feature of Nearpod. If you've used Vocabulary before, if you click here, it's going to bring you up to the kind of a rap video library, and they're all educational rap videos, so you can search for different topics that you're working on in class right now, see if they've got anything available. It's really just kind of a fun way to get some content across, and there are so many videos through Nearpod here, so please click on that and check it out at some point. Nearpod 3D will allow you to embed 3D figures into your presentations. They are very easily manipulated on the iPad, which is obviously what our students will be using to view these Nearpod presentations, which is good. You can zoom in, you can turn them 360 degrees. There are a lot of different great 3D images for science. Some social studies, definitely some health and technology ones in there as well. PhET simulations, this is more up the alley of the math and science departments here. They have every PhET simulation that I've ever seen on the website, they have through Nearpod, and the best part about these is that they work on the iPad. Okay, so if you're math or science, check out those PhET simulations. I guarantee you they do work through on the iPad when students are accessing them through Nearpod. Virtual reality field trips, definitely something for every single subject area. There are hundreds of virtual reality field trips through this link. Just by clicking right here, you can access those. Once again, you can do a search for something specific, or you can type in your subject and see what comes up, your unit, right, any themes, but those are similar to the 3D images. You can zoom in, you can go 360 degrees in different landscapes, different famous places, lots of museums, some really cool kind of field trips, even though, at this moment we're not supposed to be getting out too much, right? At least we can do it digitally. The graphing calculator is really great for, once again, for math, science a little bit as well. For some, you can check out the different equations that they've got just by clicking. Similar to the PhET simulations, I can guarantee it will work through the iPad, and those are definitely interactive. Equations on the left-hand side, and then you see how it's graphed on the right-hand side. Many of those are actually in motion. BBC Video, this is just a collection of BBC videos you can embed right through Nearpod. Obviously, over here to the right-hand side, you can also embed anything from YouTube, anything that you have in your Google Drive or saved to your computer as well. You're not limited to BBC. These are just some suggestions. A lot of really great social studies content there. A Sway is like a presentation in a presentation. It's Microsoft Sway. If you've ever used it before, you can upload your own Sway presentations. But as soon as students open it in the Nearpod, it'll give them a little message that says either scroll to the right or down in order to interact with the Sway. And it's just kind of cool moving images, really great way to get background information across in more of a non-traditional format rather than including 5 background slides. You can do one Sway where students are actually moving and manipulating the screen to get the information instead of necessarily just reading the stationary text. A slideshow, that is something that you would upload, whether it's, you have multiple images, or if you'd like to, once again, kind of embed a presentation in your presentation. This right here is how you do it. Video, audio, and PDF. These, as well as slideshow, these are all just ways of uploading your own content into one self-contained slide within your Nearpod presentation. So you can attach, whether it's a set of questions as a PDF or, an audio file you'd like them to listen to, a speech, or what have you. The live Twitter stream is a really cool premium feature we have access to right now, where if you're a Twitter person, if you especially have, you see something in the news, you follow current events, and it really just connects to what you're doing in class right now, if you click on the live Twitter stream, you can put the Twitter handle, just paste the Twitter handle, and that's going to pop up in a slide as well, so that students can check out that information without necessarily being distracted by their own personal Twitter accounts. They actually don't even need their own personal Twitter account if they don't have one. They can just see the information, the handle that you want them to focus on in the Nearpod. Okay, so that's all your content, right? Getting that information across. Web content is super simple. You just paste your website here. It's going to take students directly to it. All they do is have to click to the next slide. And then add activity, once again, you've got lots of different options for checking for understanding. Time to Climb is just like a Kahoot. It's a competitive kind of quiz game. It shows it has a leaderboard. The questions are timed. So students tend to really get into that one. They're super fun in class. Not as competitive, obviously, if students are all doing them at different times, but still kind of a cool feature and a cool format to check out. Open-ended question, pretty self-explanatory. You put in the question, students type their answer. Matching pairs, that's a good way to do like flashcards. You can put images on your matching pair, so one's an image and then one's a description. You can do English, Spanish, or English, French, right, if you're a foreign language, and then they have to match the word with its translation. You can do vocabulary words and definitions, right? Really unlimited options for the matching pairs, just kind of a really nice, fun way to practice. A quiz is what it is. It's a quiz, right? So you put in the questions, the answers, mark the correct answer, and at the end, Nearpod will actually generate a report for you as well so that you can see students' progress and how they did on that quiz, kind of help you decide what you need to go over again, what they've already mastered, that kind of thing. Flipgrid, if you insert a Flipgrid into your Nearpod, all you need are the links. So you do have to go to flipgrid.com and create your free account and create your Flipgrid there. It's a really cool way to see students' faces, first of all, because it's a video kind of collaboration board. So if you know about Flipgrid and you want to incorporate that, feel free to do so here. If you don't and you want to know about Flipgrid, please let me know and we could talk about that in a different tutorial. Draw It happens to be my favorite option in the activities. In Draw It, you can post a question and tell students to draw something. Maybe it's a vocabulary word, or draw something, a picture of something that you've learned. But the way that I usually use it is actually posting an image and then having students mark it up. So whether it's a map and you want them to, X marks the spot, kind of mark off some different places, or if it is, what I've used it for is I posted an email where students had to go through and highlight, circle, take notes on anything that they found was a red flag. Okay, why it was like a phishing email. We were talking about internet safety and protecting your information and your identity online. So really cool way to get students to interact, just by drawing right on their screen with their finger. Collaborate is like a post-it note board. It's kind of cool because you get to pick, like how you want your post-it board to look. You also have control over whether or not you want students' responses to immediately go up on the board, or if, you wanted to approve them first, you can do that as well. Poll is opinion questions, obviously, and the same thing. You can actually choose whether or not you want to share answers with other students. So in that case, it would be anonymous. So it's a really nice way to see kind of like the opinion of the class, if everyone agrees, if we're 50-50, where the students lie, without really calling anybody out, based on their opinion. Fill in the blanks. If you're someone who does fill in the blank notes in class, you can still do it digitally through this fill in the blank option on Nearpod. And then memory test is exactly how it sounds as well. You choose different images, and then students, it's actually, I like to call this one a brain break. When I've used it, it's really fun in the middle of a Nearpod, especially if you've got a lot of content you're trying to get across in one Nearpod and it's really heavy with maybe text. Throw a memory test in the middle of it, and students kind of get to take a break for just a second, and play something fun, right? So all they're doing is flipping cards over, trying to match them. If they don't match, you flip them back over. Super fun, and Nearpod will actually tell you how many tries it took you to get them all right. So it does have a little bit of a competitive feature, kind of play against yourself there with the activities. Okay, so super simple to create. Once you're done adding all of your slides, you'll have them here in your presentation, and you can simply click and drag to reorder them. You can also, once I have a slide, preview. Down here at the bottom it'll say preview, so you can go through and you can look at all of your slides before you post them for students. As you can see, you also have a drag and drop feature as well. If you wanted to open up a file and simply, even in another tab, open up your Google Drive, grab a picture, drag it over to Nearpod, and drop it there, it will automatically create its own slide, be included in its own slide. Okay, so really easy. It'll just take a little bit of playing around to figure out, like what kind of slides you're most interested in, what Nearpod has specifically for your topics. Please let me know if I can help you in any way. You can reach out to your librarian in your building, or my email address is aorourke@bhsd228.com. Thank you.